for what is hopefully, or should be, the last day of working on this, at least for the jam. Because the jam submission, I think, is lunchtime tomorrow, if I remember rightly. But I just want to get this. I'm still adding bits of content, and I want to stop doing that by like lunchtime today so that I can just focus on bugs for the rest of the day. And then actually it would be nice to relax at some point. But yes, we'll get to that. First thing today is a bug that I saw yesterday, which was the reactor countdown was still on the screen as I started a new level. 5 seconds apparently remaining, I guess, from the previous level. And then it ran out and nothing happened. And then when I finally destroyed the reactor in that level, the countdown didn't start. So presumably it's just not resetting properly, which is kind of weird because I would have thought I would have seen that issue before and probably on every level if it wasn't resetting properly. So somehow it just didn't reset on that occasion. So where's the code for that? I'm going to assume reactor control has a reset. It's got a load of dead code in it, which I'm going to get rid of, in fact. It's a good start. Now then, is there a reset? There is a reset. Trying to destroy at time. Last explosion time doesn't matter. Max turret is going to get reset. It's not going to affect anything to do with timing. So if that got called, we shouldn't see anything because the number that is on the screen, on the HUD rather, is, where is it? Down here somewhere. Score countdown. Countdown 6, there we go. Countdown milliseconds, which is explode time ms minus get time minus explode time. So okay, that's the remaining time. So game time minus explode time. If explode time 0, then we return 0. So right, so it wouldn't have put anything on the screen if that had been called, which means reactor control reset wasn't called for some reason. That presumably it's called in world. In this commented out code. There it is. Okay. So that's on loading the level data. That's concerning because there's no way, at least in theory, I can't think of a way why that wouldn't happen. So I really can't think how that could happen. Okay, maybe it is happening and then something else is setting that value. I don't know how it would be. Yep. When does it get set? There. I don't see how that could get called. I mean, because that isn't being reset, is it? Turrets actually, no. That's even less likely to get called because max turrets isn't reset, but that is. So even if we could call that, if we were calling that by accident, it shouldn't be enough to trigger the explosion. And furthermore, it can't be calling that because one reactor exploded is what causes the door to open, and the door wasn't open. What a fun bug. Yeah, the screen wasn't shaking either. So this didn't happen. but explode time was a non-zero value. So that can't have been called, which puts us back to there. That can't have been called. But that means, yeah, hang on. Is this something extremely trivial? Level 4. Oh, for goodness sake. Yeah, there's no reactor. There's a visual reactor, but there's no reactor object. So that means it's never going to reset the values. Okay, good. Nice, simple fix. Object. In fact, let's copy the one out of view. There he is. One of them, please. And put that somewhere in the middle. There's good. Okay, that's that problem solved. Nice. Okay. I wasn't showing the bloody tile editor. Whoops. I was missing that guy. Back to the code. So that I can take that off. Okay, I'm going to commit that as well while I think about it. Fixed. Level 4. No reactor. Okie dokie. I'm going to do the level ordering later, I think, because it's not really... Yeah, I'm going to change my mind when I've got all the levels in, so... We will switch to tile editor. I can't find it myself. There it is. Okay. Did I want to do anything else with this level? I can't remember. I guess I'll find out when I play through it again in a minute. I think we need some simpler ones because I've done that standard game developer thing where because I've played the easy level 500 times now, I'm just making obscenely large, complicated levels, which I'm then terrible at, but nonetheless. So that's where we start. That's a nice simple one. And then we go to that one, which is slightly more complicated. So that one, that's got a single door. This one, I think, oh, this one's got two, blue and yellow. And then we've got the current level 3, which I don't think should be a level 3 because it's enormo huge. That's got all 3 doors and it's got a zillion enemies in it. Oh, I think it's... Yeah, it's got the homing missile cats as well, which are really annoying, so that should definitely not be third. But anyway, and then 4 is actually a bit simpler, but it's got all 3 doors. And looks like, actually, do you know what, that doesn't have anything except turrets in it by the look of it, so I did still need to do some work on this level. Okay. Let me think. Over here. One of you. Copy. Level, was that 4? Yes, it was. Where have you put that? Oh, thanks, mate. There we go. And where else do I want one of them? It's probably a bit tight. Yeah, down the middle of there is good. Have you just put that? No. Have you put it up there again? You put it up there. Okay, that was a random choice. Can I drag this? No, I can't. It's going to insist on being that shape. It's a really strange bug, that. Right, I will get a different one then. I think I can resize. Can I resize you? Yes, I can. Okay. So you can go like that. Yeah, across that whole length, I think. Across that whole height, rather. Okay. Might put one in round there. have to push this guy out a bit. That arrow is so difficult to get hold of. There we go. Right, I will have to build that one manually. This guy? No, that one. That's the one I want. Okay, he should start, because you're going to come down there, by which time if I start him there he'll already have moved over there. And I'll give it a go. Set that to be a patrol. I don't think I need to set anything else on patrol. No, no custom properties. Alright, that'll probably work. Alright. Right, I want to chuck some explodey batteries in as well, because they're always fun. Sort of vaguely near the turrets as well. So actually I shouldn't put it directly in front of the turret because it'll shoot it itself. And that's no fun at all. That should be close enough, I think. No, because then the guy's going to fly into it. Dear me. Yeah. Let's try that one. That should be out of the way. Maybe that one. There, I think. Quite tight enough to get both of them. That's annoying. Ah, there's a nice space though. Well, I think he'll shoot past that. Either that or he'll just immediately blow both of them up. But that's fine. I will accept that level of jank for a jam game. Especially, to be fair, a jam game that's meant to be deliberately janking. I suppose it does make sense. What else? We don't. Oh, we've got that little secret power up there. Do we have any EMPs? Because I don't think we do. None over there. None over there. We maybe put one up there. Oh, there's one up there. Oh well, there's two now. Where do I want to put this? Oh, there's one already there. Okay, fine. I guess I've already thought about that. Right, save, export. And then I will set this up so I can play it. 3, not 1. That's going to be the correct one. Compiler. Boink, boink, boink. There's a build there somewhere. There it is. I just realised there's a terrible lie on the screen. Where's my I'll just leave that broken screenshot there for a second while I update that text, because it's not true. I'm not drinking black tea. I'm drinking water tea. Run. Okay, that crashed. That's not a good start. What happened there then? Code. I don't. Oh, okay. Something wrong with the patroller. Oh, I'm using too many. Clearly, I've never done a patrol that complicated before. Thailand, what does it look like? How many points are there? Object. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I thought I had 8, maybe I've only got 4. Back to the code. Get rid of all this enemies. enemies. Excuse me. Okay, next control point is that in enemies H. 8. Did I miscount that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's definitely only 7 points on that poly. What are you talking about? Exceeded the maximum. -1. I am doing something hacky here. That smells of a hack. Why did I do that? That suggests I'm using one of the patrol points for something else. Oh God, what have I done? You know what? There's a new. No, I'm not gonna put that up because it's not that big really. It's gonna be 8 extra bytes if I put that up to 9, which is not going to kill us. But at the same time, do you know what? I want to know what I'm using these for. I seem to recall there was something weird about I don't know, maybe this is left over from something else. I could have sworn there was a vague memory of doing something weird with the patrol points. Patrol point count is more than 1, suggesting it would normally be 1. Okay. So I'm using the first one as a static position or something? Okay, I don't know what I'm doing, but it's far too late in the day to work out. So let's just increase that and throw away 8 bytes, and that'll solve the problem. Compiler. Dunk, 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 build. Run. There we go. That was a lot of exploding. I guess one of the bombs was set off. There aren't any bombs at the top though, are there? No, there's a sentry and the saucer cat, which suggests the saucer cat hit the sentry. Oh dear. Okay. Carry on. Oh, hello. Forgot to put you there. The door, I'm going to get a key yet. So I don't think. I can't actually remember where I've put the keys. Or indeed where I've put the enemies. Oh, there's a key, that's handy. Right, that's the blue key. So that was another bug yesterday. I could have sworn at one point it was I picked up a key of one colour and the thing that appeared on the hood was a different colour. But that one is blue, so it's right at the moment at least. Right, where's the blue door? This side, I think. Yes, okay, they're sort of blowing themselves up at the moment. This is perhaps not. It's vaguely amusing, but it's not that much fun. Oh, I keep forgetting they're there anyway. They are a bit surplus to requirements really, but they're quite fun. Oh, I don't need any of this stuff. Let's just carry on. There's the okay. Ow. Oh no. I'm a sucker for a secret room, even if I do place them myself. Right, yellow key. Oh, and it's the yellow key on the hood, so that's good. And since I've got a EMP, kabam. That is fun. Red key. And it's showing a red key on the hood. Okay. I wonder what happened the other day. Perhaps I imagined it. It's always best to think you imagined bugs. Just leave them. Everybody? You as well. I've got an EMP left. That's handy. There we go. Lovely. It's potentially sort of a bit busy in that top left corner. I might do something about that. Dilate. Oh, and also I need to fix all of those enemies that are blowing themselves up. Which would be this lot. Yeah, I guess that is getting quite close. It is probably a bit too tight in there really for this guy. That's upsetting. But I'm sure I'll live. Okay, fine. You can go. Which means you can get stretched back out again. And then I need a vertical one. Which means that can't really be there. Because I'm probably going to have to bring it in a bit closer. Title, delete that. I'm tempted to put more of these in actually. Because then, in theory, if you shoot one of those at the right time, you could get those two and the saucer cat, which would be quite nice. Now, this guy is obviously being set off by the saucer cat, so that's got to go. Try and do the same thing, I guess. Right. This area isn't actually that bad because there are EMPs around. Maybe we chuck a couple more in just to sort of subtly imply you could just use an EMP if you wanted, which makes it a bit less busy. I feel like we probably need more diamonds down there as well. Alright, I'm calling that one done. Horrible squidge, get off. There we go. So we want a simpler one. And two. Two's a fairly simple progression from one, I think. So something between 2 and what will become 3, which is this guy. This one's fairly straightforward but it just involves all 3 keys. This one's a little bit more mazy, but it's only got 2 keys, so I don't know. I think maybe that does make sense, actually, to go from there to there. And then, yikes, this monster at the end. There's only 4 levels then. For some reason it feels neater to make that 5, so I just don't know where I'm going to fit the 5th one in. Maybe another sort of trivial one. Yeah. Okay, let's do something like that then. I don't know. I'm just going to get on with it. Right, file, save as, and hopefully this will be called level 5, at least for now. Probably just going to delete everything. Yoink. Gone. Objects. Stop selecting things. That was definitely the wrong button. Select all of that. Gone. Okay. In the rock style settings. Where's my middle? There. I was gonna have the level facing left to begin with, but that just feels really odd. I think starting facing left, so I'm gonna face right. Again. Something like that. That's quite big. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, that is fairly large, but that's fine. Okay. And then I think maybe we do a sort of a Doom type thing of having all of the keys, all of the doors, excuse me, right in front of you at the beginning. So that would be, so we'll put a wall in there. 2, and then a gap, and then 1, 2, and a gap. So we could fit the keys in there, the doors in there, excuse me. That's 2 doors, I guess. Are we only doing 2? Yeah. Two, three, four, five, six, seven. It's quite wide again. In fact, yeah, I shouldn't really have named those. It's fine. I don't know where I'm going. Can't make it too big. Stop thinking too big. Okay. Break that up a little bit there. And I guess that's got to sort of go off that way somewhere. It's too big again. I keep making these corridors too big. Still don't know what I'm doing over there. I guess something sort of vaguely symmetrical down here. Painty paint, paint, paint. Yeah, that'll do. It's a little ring within a ring there, just randomly. Okay, and then I just want to block that off. How complicated are we getting? Moderately. I don't know, just chuck that in there for now. Still haven't done any of this side yet, so this is all just one doll's worth. Oh. Oh, hello, FTP. I hadn't realised you were there. Sorry if I've been ignoring your message. The hidden map genital design. Is it genitally? I mean, I was slightly concerned when I did that bit that it was, you know, moderately bum-shaped, but I think it's generally hidden. Was there? I heard the notification for a follow, but I didn't see it again. Oh, I have to. Oh, I have to readjust this in every scene in OBS. That's why. I thought I'd fixed it, but I've only fixed it in one of the scenes. Oh, can I do that now without everything breaking? Oh, it was you. Thank you. Not that I'm meant to say that if you're doing a stealth follow, but you've chatted now, so it's fine. What was I doing other than drawing a bum in a level editor, apparently? Oh, I need to decide what to do on this side. I don't know. I'm just blank today. Let's have some doors. That'll help. That'll help me think. It won't. Right. Vertical doors. There's one. Plunk. Number 5. Plunk. I even pasted it in a vaguely sensible place. That's nice. Okay. One of you should be blue. The other one should be yellow. Arbitrarily, I choose you. Yellow. Okay. Take full responsibility. I don't know what I'm looking at, but I'm liking it a lot. Fair enough. I'm just keeping tabs on your submission, Chris. To give everyone performance anxiety, make sure your pilot wears pants. Yes. I think the very first stream I did, Sonneveld stealth followed me as well. And I was like, holy shit, the eye is watching me. It's terrifying. But no, you're very welcome. Although especially my game dev streams are mostly me muttering to myself, as you've probably observed. But yes, you're certainly welcome though. That's the yellow door. That's a blue door. Oh, I need to put little thingies on. Yellow tiles. No, that's the button. Yellow. And yellow. And then blue. And blue. Did just extend the jam deadline by a teensy bit. I wish you hadn't told me that. I'm going to pretend I didn't read that. Because I think it was, the last time I looked, it was like lunchtime tomorrow, isn't it? Was it about 12 Sunday, I think? And so I'm sort of at the point where I'm like, yeah, that works for me. Oh, I said by 1 minute. Fair enough. That's good. Because yes, I need to do something that isn't this for at least a couple of days, which is completely, you know, missing the point of this jam being 3 months long, and the fact that it's so, you know, nice about finishing off old projects and things like that. You know, the whole idea with it, as far as I can tell, is for people to not get stressed about it. And I'm like, 3 whole months? I could make a whole game in that time. And so I've just made a rod for my own back since that point. But I think, as an example of that, like my initial plans were that this would be maybe about 20 levels, and then that went down to 10. and now it's about 5. I'll probably do some after the jam's finished, but for the initial one, I think 5 levels will get the idea across. Although I've only got 4, and because I'm chatting instead of drawing bums, which is clearly the most important part. Well, I need to put a player start in as well. Come to think of it. That one, that one, that one, yes. There. Save. Difficult balance. Making anything is so wonderful, thrilled a bit to see what you do at any point. Yes, that's true. No, I agree with the sentiment there, definitely. Anything's better than nothing. And I think that a lot of people subscribe to that sort of thing of, because I know I've done it myself a lot, of thinking like, if it isn't perfect, then it's not worth trying, you know? And so they go, well, I'll never be as good as some perfect thing. So what's the point? And I think that's really, it's quite damaging, ultimately. The world's much more interesting for the attempts. Anyway, my textual tongue and let you concentrate, that's quite all right. Right, tiles. No, I still need to design this. Why is my phone buzzing? Shush. Silent. There we go. Lovely. Oh, great. I'm still getting the notifications anyway. What was the point of... It's in airplane mode. How can I be getting notifications? Okay. I'm just going to put the phone under the tap. That'll help. Right. Okay. So blue will go through first. So we need to get a yellow key from this area somewhere, and I can't go too big because I keep making all of these levels too large. I'm going to make that a little bit rounder as well. Something sort of faintly maze-ish. Don't go too large. Don't go too large. The temptation to go large. Don't do that. That'll do there. And then you can sort of squidge about down there. Oh, that, and then, yeah, let's just cut this off. And give that a bit of a lump there. Okay. Okay. Where's the reactor going? What else have I done? Because level 2 at the moment, yeah, level 1 and 2, the reactor door is right next to the reactor. So that's another thing that we need to introduce is actually what if the reactor door is not right next to the reactor? So this might be a good place to do that because this hopefully isn't that complicated. So reactor's in here, and then maybe the reactor door, I think we might actually put it over here. Maybe shorten this a bit. Okay. Select all of that. Ditch it. Ditch that as well. Back to there. Okay, and then I'm going to need slightly thicker wall down here. Delete those. Yoink, yoink. Actually, that's not going to work. What am I doing? Need to be like that, and then that, and yep. Come on, work it out. There we go. Doors, doors, doors. I don't have any horizontal doors in this one. There's going to be one. There's one. Ah, just accidentally put a player start in there. Didn't mean to do that. Copy. 5. You are in fact well, it's not called a reactor, it's called an emergency door. Emergency. And then back to the tiles. And then we put the little lights on that. Can't see it for the word emergency. There we go. Where's the other one? There we go. And then we put some safe dials behind it. Oops, not there. Save, 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 save. Save, 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 save. Okay. And then we are, yeah, I'll do the dark tiles in a minute. Okay. There, that should maybe be a bit. Or maybe in the middle. Let's see how that works. Okay. I reckon it's always. Oh, in fact, this is where the reactor's got to go, isn't it? So we probably don't need any of this, or very little of it anyway. Ditch. It's not terribly far away from there. Yeah, it's fine. Okay. At least to there, and then probably fill that in. There we go. Might be a bit too tight, actually. We'll find out. Okay, reactor tiles. What size reactors have we done up to this point, if this is the 3rd level? That's 2 guys. I think the first one was just 1 guy. Yeah. So 2 again, probably. Because I don't think... Actually, that's 4. This is so the last level. How many have we got here? That's 2 again. Maybe that should be 3. Yeah, I'll put the 3rd one in there. 3. Save, export. You, on the other hand, I think just 2, because 2 and the extra complication of having to notice that before you've entered the room. So I think that's approximately fair. But you know what? I think I've just read there aren't any pipes in this level. I'm going to have to do a pipe pass. Okay. Right, fine. 2 guys, 2 reactor doodads. I think we might space them out a fair chunk. Not quite that far. Like that, I think. Doop, doop, doop. And then some random pattern as an excuse for decoration. I've got a very odd idea of what a reactor looks like, but thankfully I've never really specified what it's reacting, so I get away with it. At least that's what I claim. There we go. That's some random pattern. And then anything else we need to do? Oh yes, the thing that I just discovered this morning with that daft bug is it breaks if I forget to put one of these in. So don't forget to put that in. Okay, save that. And now we can start adding some bad guys. How many bad guys have we put in a reactor room up to this point? That's got none. That's got 2. So maybe 2 or 3 then. Wrong level, that's the one. Yeah, that'll do. Okay. Since I'm thinking about pipes now. No, no, it's fine. I'll come back to that in a minute. Okay, more bad guys. Yeah, I reckon we should have some on here. Dunk. Dunk. Gosh, that's tight. Okay, that's fine. Just because it's strangely pleasing, let's surround that with explosives. That he can't shoot himself. How did I do that in the other level? Where is it? Oh, okay, I guess they don't. They are going to shoot past them in that configuration. Okay. It's just careless, really, leaving those lying around like that. Right, objects. Back to bad guys. One there. One there. Where else for the left-facing ones? It's a little bit messy, can't really fit one in there. Guess that one, oh, that's better, but it'll need fixing behind. I'll do myself, shall I? Cloak. And then one of, where's the missing pixel? There, no, which side is it? It's, no, it's that one. There we go. Back to objects again. More left-facing guys. One behind there. Two. He'll be annoying. I suppose so. Why not? Don't want it to be. It's maybe getting a bit too busy already if it's this early a level, but you know, we'll test it and find out. That'll do for them. Have we, by this point, introduced any enemies? The first level definitely just has turrets. What did I put in the second level? Okay, we've got a few saucer cats. We've actually got 3. Wow. 4, 5, 6. Okay, that's probably too many for the second level. Where am I going to put them? I should have copied them. Yes, there. I'll just about fit. Maybe one more up the top. Okay, no homing missile ones in this level because it's a bit too early. Right, so diamonds. Guess we'll just fling them around semi-randomly, like usual. Curses. Alright. Gotta put a map somewhere. Whoops, zooming the wrong thing. Where's the map gonna go? Even though the map is essentially useless, it's got to go somewhere. I reckon it can go down here. And, keys. Blue key, because the blue keys, yes, the blue key's got to go up here somewhere. And put it there. And then the yellow key needs to go inside the blue bit. I guess. It works. And then the red key. There is no red key. Good. Other power-ups. Don't have any EMPs. Maybe one there. Don't need that many in this level. Maybe just the one will do. Have we introduced power-ups by this point? I can't remember that either. Oh, there is a sneaky one hidden. Okay. Maybe we'll actually put one in plain sight then, just to let the player know they exist. That's the map, so that's sort of... each region's kind of got its own reward now, so it doesn't... Maybe we'll just chuck it down there. Oh, no health. Hello, Jabu, how you doing? I assume, I can't read that, but I assume that was FTP talking about bombs earlier. Such a friendly shape. Right, I need to put health in. well, not near the beginning. I feel like it's sort of slightly cheating to put them in the reactor room as well. I don't know whether I'm being influenced too strongly by Descent's meanness, but it feels like if you put their health in the most difficult room, you're just making it easy. I'm going to chuck them up here instead. Maybe one in there. And because maps are pointless, let's give you some health for coming down here as well. How many have I got now? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's plenty. Okay, and now this is the bit where I have to sway walls of secrecy, because now I'm going to put the secret room in, so, you know, you didn't see this. Where's it going to go? Maybe I think maybe I'm going to fill the bum crack with diamonds. I think that's got to be the way forward. You can quote me on that. Right. Forget about the secret. Thanks very much, Jabu. I would expect no less. Okay. In that case, like that. And then around there. And then we fill the bum with diamonds. There we go. Oh, do you know what? Let's go crazy. Entire thing. There we go. You certainly should be able to see that from coming around the side. Maybe we'll decorate it slightly. A little heart in the middle. Oh, how sweet. Right. And now decoration. Train sets. Oh, the server bit. I need to put server bits near the reactor. Oh, that's handy. There's a great big lump right here. Dunk. Ruin. It's got to trail off down here a bit. There we go. Fix that up because it's all a bit knackered. That one. That one. Looks right. Oh, those are not right. There we go. And the other thing I need to do, because I should actually do this on all the levels, I need to make sure those are solid tiles either side of the door. Because, and this is another thing you definitely didn't hear, there is a bug where the collision will fail and you can actually creep round the side of the doors sometimes. So I have to make sure those tiles are set right to prevent that happening. Yeah, I did do all of those. Okay, right, back to decoration again. Make these walls very thin, actually. It's going to be quite hard to decorate. Okay. Just make them a bit thicker then. Nearly filled that in. And block off the secret room. We don't want that. Okay. Right, now some decoration. E. One in here, I think. Oh wow, I've drawn almost exactly the same shape there twice. That was a weird coincidence. Oh no. Get rid of it. Try again. That's fine. That's coming in. Circuit board. Where can we put circuit boards? Can we fit one in there? Not really. Can't fit one in there either. We can. Oh, can't quite fit that in there either. Fine, you can go there then. And there. And maybe one over there. One in the middle of that lot. What else have I got? Oh, this rubbish resistor that I hate, but I've got nothing else. And then can't fit it in any of these places. Hmm. Right, I think that's about everything. Oh, no, the thing I said earlier that I've just realised all the levels are missing, which is I haven't put pipes in any of the new ones, so I'll do some pipes as well. Pipes, pipes, pipes. Where can I fit a right-angled pipe? That up there. Corner. Okay, that's the bumble. And maybe one across there. I guess one down there. You could probably chuck a couple of them in. That doesn't look ideal. Easily fixed though. That guy, and I guess the right hand. Yeah, that works. Oops, pipes. Maybe that pipe goes all the way along. Boink. Oh, means I'll have to change that, but fine. And that. This was a terrible decision, but I've gone with it. Looks better if those are full tiles as well, which means they have to be. Up to pipes somewhere. Just to the bottom, I think. That'll work. Sorta, kinda. Alright. Oops. It's level 5, isn't it? Yes. What have I forgotten? Because there's bound to be something. Well, oh, I know what I've forgotten. I was about to declare nothing, but there is something I've forgotten, which is the black area around the outside. Not sure where we're going to need that. Maybe down here a bit. And certainly down here. Oops, wrong button. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, you can see further than that. So we'll have to do a bunch of these. Okay. Get into the little bonus room there, so that's going to need to be bigger. I think that's starting to look thick enough. I don't think I'll need to do any of that. That's probably thick enough as well. I feel like this may not be. Yoink. Yoink, yoink, yoink. Oops. I don't think I need any of that, but I'll put it in anyway. Okay, save, export, back to the old code, because now I need to tell it it's got 5 levels. 5 whole levels, imagine that. That requires an update to this data. Level 5 CRB. That's a lie. That's going to be a 0 again. And as usual, I can't remember what that last number is. Map info, there it is. There's a dialogue index, yes, it's got none of them have dialogue except the first one. That's the other thing I need to finish today. Okay, compiler, book. Oh, I need to change this so it loads in the right level. That's set right, we're fine. Oh. Okay, loaded, it's going to be a good start. Blow these guys up. That was fun. Oh, a yellow door and a blue door. However will I get inside? That's my impression of a player. A reactor door that we can't get through. Yoff. Oh, he did shoot at me. Ow. Terrible at this. Right, there we go. Blaming the keyboard, blaming the keyboard. Right, there's a blue key. That's all clear. Flew straight into him. There's my map. That is largely useless. Blue key, blue door. Ow, flew into him again. I've only got 2 health. I'm so bad at my own game. It's embarrassing. No, I'm going to rely on my excuse that the keyboard's rubbish. Oh, I forgot about the secret. Delicious points. Get off. The collision felt a bit odd then. Fine. Well, there's no cover in this room. I should probably put some cover in. Make it a bit easier. Oh, I've got to open the MP. Dead. That doesn't mean. There we go. Okay. That door was meant to have opened. I've got another bug around that. This has only occurred like today and yesterday. So, the alarm triggered, but the door didn't open. How have I done that? How is that even possible? I know what this is, or I better know what. No, hang on. I've tested the earlier levels again. This doesn't happen on them, does it? Okay, let's find out. Run that again. So I made a change to the door control code. Skip, 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 skip. To fix a bug in levels that had all 3 doors. I'm wondering if in doing that I've broken levels that don't have all 3 doors. Where's the key? Oh, it's in there. Used. Oh, that helped me fine. What about the next level? Who was that? I don't know. Well, thank you for the follow, whoever that was. It actually appeared on the screen. How exciting. Progress. Right, there's a yellow key. Ow. I would have shot him, but genuinely my keyboard doesn't allow me to press that cursor key and the spacebar at the same time. So it just made me look rubbish. I am quite rubbish, but not in that specific way. Right. Oh, I've still got plenty of peas. Well, that's that one gone. Right, let's see if that door... Yeah, it's not open yet, which it shouldn't be. That's open fine. So that says to me that one did use two keys, didn't it? Because that's what I'm trying to rule out is it specific to levels with 2 doors? Well, 3 doors, including the emergency. But that one, yeah, that's blue, yellow, and emergency. Ah, but what's potentially different? That's a hot painting tiles by accident. That's a horizontal door, which, because Game Jam and hacks, is completely different code to the vertical doors. So, is that the problem? Okay, so that's going to be in the loading code. I'm fairly certain I cut and pasted this code so it was the same. Okay, and then that reactor door enemy is 1 shoved left by door count. It's exactly the same for horizontal. Those are the same, aren't they? Why didn't that open? That's really odd. That's a lot of debug that we don't need. Let's get rid of that. Enemies. I don't remember even adding that log, but apparently I did. Okay, which then means I can put these logs back in again. This is for a horizontal door, so that's what we want. To door and an ID equals react door and an ID. Now, the other thing that we can do then is we can say get an ID. It's the tail value, which is actually down here. We haven't calculated it yet. Okay. Just do a check on that. And an ID. Let's probably get it out of the tail value. Edix. And then we've got a trigger. But American will print multiple times. Triggering an ID. Okay. Compiler. Build. And time skip to that level. That didn't seem to work. Yeah, okay. Means I'm going to play the level again, of course. Well, actually, I do have a cheat to give myself all the keys, so let's try that. That is not on. Okay, so what does the log say? Well, that looks fine to me. Why hasn't that door opened? What's wrong with you, weird little door? Okay, sanity check. Yeah, it doesn't really matter what the NMID could change in different levels. That wouldn't be a bug, because it's dependent on what order it's in the file. Maybe that's the issue. Maybe we still have a problem if it's not one of the first two elements. I wonder if it's that. have time to fix this bug, but I'm going to have to because it's the worst possible kind of bug. I mean, I am not seeing the problem there. But it has to be the order of the doors in the map. That's the only thing that's going to differ between the different levels. But why? Why would that cause a problem? Doors. That is the exact same value. So that's correct. It must be the fact that it's the third bit. I must have that maths wrong somewhere, or the shift wrong. Tempted to combine that code anyway, just to rule out copy pasta. I mean, I know it's not going to be copy pasta, but fine, let's do that. Everything else will be the same except the position of the second one. Yeah. Eck. Can't do it that way around. Oh, that's annoying. turn me in. It's going to be a bit grisly. Okay, it's not really going to make a lot of difference, but slightly simpler to look at. Just make sure I haven't made the situation worse. Doesn't help if it doesn't compile. Oh, silly me. That's right. Don't. Assuming this is going to be broken the same way. Okay, so all the data's right. The only thing that isn't working is the trigger. I don't understand that at all. Let's run through that. Trigger Tylanum. So trigger Tylanum for in 4. That's going to trigger on. Let's completely test this. That's going to be there. So, oh, hello. That would explain it. We can only trigger them if they're vertical. Also the horizontal ones. God, it's always something trivial, isn't it? Right, okay. Good. Do that again. Right, give us the keys. Put them up. Let's try this again. Someone shoot. Oh, that's quite handy. Okay, actually shoot me. Oops. That's a bit more sensible. Alright, good. And then that'll go back to the menu. Alright, good. Oh, excuse me. Alright then, I can take that log back out. Also the loading code. Done. Anything else in there? No. Right, so let's reorder these levels then. Trying to think of the most sensible way to do this. The most correct way to reorder them would be to rename all of the source files in TileEd, re-export them with the new names, etc. But it would be an awful lot simpler to just change the order in the code by changing that array. But that does feel quite dirty. Alright, fine. Fine, I've convinced myself. It does mean I have to rename all of these and not overwrite anything, which means before I do any of that, I shall commit to source control. Alt. What else have I done? Fixed horizontal reactor doors not triggering. That's about it. Okay, fine. Yes, TileEd. TileEd. It is. Right, let's start at the beginning then. The one that is currently called level 1 is going to remain level 1. So that's fine. That's a nice easy one. The one that is currently called level 2 is also going to remain level 2. The one that's currently called level 3, yeah, look at the size of that thing. And it still isn't using the full area. Fun fact, when I first started making this game, the map sizes were like 4 times as large as this. Isn't it a good job I cut that down? Anyway, right, so you can't be level 3. You should be, save as, level 5-new temporarily. And the one that is currently called level 4, that's staying as level 4. Okay, this is not actually that involved. But the one that's called level 5 currently, what I have just made, is going to be level 3 new. Okay, close that. Then tidy up the files in a window that you can't see. I haven't exported them. What am I doing? Okay. Levels. There we go. So get rid of number 5, get rid of number 3, rename number 3 new to number 3, rename number 5 new to number 5. And then, from an abundance of paranoia, reopen all of them and re-export all of them. Excuse me? Don't do that. That was terrifying. Number 4. Number 5. Where is it? There it is. Crikey, that is a monster of a load. Anyway. Right, you export as level 1, you're quite right. You export as level 2. You export as, not level 5, no, fooled you, level 3. That one should be fine. Export as 4. Sure, why not? You are not level 3, you're now level 5. Get on with it. Okay. So, vector code, because we've got some part-times that I need to make not all be 2 minutes. Level 1 doesn't take very long at all. Okay, I guess we will just have to test and find out. Come on, compiler. Not that I need to rebuild anything. Right, run. New game. Skip, 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 skip. Okay, go. I forgot to start the timer. That's the whole point. Start the clock. There we go. Oh, why have I done that? It's going to tell me how long I took at the end of the level. No. Oh well. I've got a backup timer in case mine's lying. I'm also going to take off 20 seconds of my time to account for the fact that this keyboard sucks. Get out. And then I'm collecting everything. Right. Clock here says 59 seconds. Game says 1 minute 6. I'm going to say a minute then, I think. It's about a minute. Let me leave that there while I update. That should be 60,000 milliseconds. Okay. Reset me timer there. That's the wrong window. Okay. Level 2 it is. Go. Get in. Missed a diamond there. Oh well, I'll forgive myself. Missing even more now. God, the stress is on now. I feel like I'm against the clock. Skipping diamonds all over the place. Yeah. Blue's on. Ow, don't shoot me. It's so rude. Thank you. Next. Get off me. Yellow key. Ow, blaming a keyboard for that one. It's going to be my standard excuse for the rest of my life. Just keyboard. All health. Don't fancy my chance of here. It's going to ruin the timing if I die. Ooh. Oh, come on. Stop shooting me. Ooh. Oh, I flew into that one. Right, I have to subtract what? 10 seconds from that? That's 2 minutes 18, and the other clock game says 2 minutes 19. Oh, put for that. Be generous and say 2 minutes 30. Yeah, I'm going to say 2 minutes 30. 150,000 milliseconds. Next. Oh, that annoys me that it's not lined up. I forgot to start the other time. It really doesn't matter. I'm doing it anyway. Also, I can't remember the layout of this level. Oh, this is this one. Right, yes, no, I know where I'm going. Mostly. Get off. There we go. Just going to skip these guys for a minute. Try and make the time up. Blue. I wanted them, thanks very much. Go away, get off me. I do like an emergency EMP. Right, yellow kid, get off. Ooh, yes please. Actually quite a fast one. Get off. Right. Oh, really fast. Out the door. That's like a minute. Yeah, if I hadn't screwed up, that was probably a minute. Not mad keen on it going from 1 minute to 2.5 back to 1 again. Should we swap those around maybe? Well, either way, that's a minute. Start the timer. Right, good. Collect these. Get off. Ow. I can't remember where I'm going. That's the escape door. Totally undone. Now my cat's shouting at me. Here, isn't it? Did I put it in here? Yes. Blue key. Okay, good. Can't remember where the other key is in here. Yikes. What's down here? Yellow key. I'm getting proper smashed up. Grab the secrets. Ow, get off me. Seven health for the reactor. Yikes. Right? Yes, down the one, I think. Yes. Get off. Oh, I've got cover in this one, this is. I'd hope if I wasn't rubbish. Oh god, I put a third one in. What? Oh, this was a terrible idea. Okay, yeah, the third one's got to go. Yeah, that was dreadful. That didn't help. There we go. Yeah. Another 2.5 minutes. I think I am going to say that one's 2.5 again. Yeah. That's 150. These timings are all over the place. Oh well. Next. Right, this is the obscenely long one. Get off me. Oh dear. Oh, this is terrible for me. Dear. Right, you know what? You can get wrecked. Have that. Oh god, I forgot to put that in. No. By which I mean I've died. Down, up. Oh, great. Hit twice. Lovely. Delightful. Who designed these levels, honestly? No, no. Yellow. Yellow. I'm genuinely lost. Oh, okay, good. No, what? That's not yellow, it's blue. That's why I think it's picking up the wrong coloured keys, because I'm looking at the yellow bit on the blue key. Sick, kind of a badly designed icon. Oh well. Blue, in fact, which is down here. Don't get me, thank you. Ow. Oh dear. Red. Stop it. Have you got stuck in the wall? You have, haven't you? I am totally not fixing that bug. That's yellow. Where is red? Oh, it's around here. Get off me! Yellow. Free stuff! Free stuff! Give us that health. Right. Ooh, that tile's a bit knackered. Okay, I should really be murdering this rat. Have some murder, thank you. If you would be so kindly murdered. There we go. Oh, I can't remember. No, I can't remember where the reactor is. I think I can anyway. It's around here. Ooh, don't fly into that. Well, I would have got out the door if I hadn't sucked. So I'm going to call that 3 minutes. 180,000 milliseconds. Right. So that's that updated, and let's commit that. Map timings, order and timings. Power times. Okay. What else do I need to do? That's happened. That's happened. So much stuff to do later. Ignore all of that. I really think those are going to be screens with the words "well done" and "game over" on them. Let's do that. Game state. Yes, they exist as states already. So probably the score screen is the simplest one to copy then. Let's do that out here. Code. Duplicate. Game over and game over H, and then duplicate that again. You are ending. You are ending. Alright. Do. Again, blaming the keyboard. We won't need an exit, but we'll leave it in. Up to the top. Game over. You certainly don't need most of these. You won't need any of this. I mean, for now, it is literally just going to be the words game over. So I think all of this can go. I cannot spell game over today. You're not going to need an exit because you're not going to have any sound effects. I'll leave it in case I add any. I can't imagine I'm going to add any sound effects at this point though. You're really not going to have an update, but I suspect I'm probably not allowed to not have an update. So we'll just say it's fine. Draw is not going to do a great deal either. Except some printing. Come back to that. It also shouldn't be called call state. Alright. Do the other one. You know, I should have done this and then duplicated this to be the ending, given that it's just going to be different text. Okay. You are not going to need a pool. That's an interesting problem. Will it die if I don't allocate any memory? Oh no, I know where I'm looking. All the way up here. Free pool. Now I think though Alec will be clever enough to notice that the pool is empty. Yes, it will. Marvellous. That problem is avoided. Lovely. We don't need any of this guff. This is going to be a big empty class. Well, yeah, it is a class. Fine, return the normal exit. Don't do anything for the update. Draw string. Does it even need to be transparent? I don't think it does, because I think they've all got black backgrounds, which, in a game over screen, you're going to have a black background. Seems obvious to me anyway. Right. Font, draw string, yes. Screen X, screen Y, string, and length, but I don't need that. Oh, crikey knows. Const chance const k game over text equals game over. It's annoying about it. Ugh. C and its inability to statically measure the length of strings. Fine, I will do it in my head instead, even though that's kind of horrible. It's 9 characters, so it's 9 times 16, which is 144. So we need to draw you at 320 minus 100. Oh, hang on a minute. That will get us. Where will that put us? Because if it's not aligned to 4, then it will wiggle. 76 over 2 is 88, which happens to be a multiple of 4. Get in. Just make sure I don't change that message. Then you would be 200 minus 16 over 2. That would be game over text and then nothing. Oh, do you know what? There is going to be an update because we're going to wait for the user to press a key, and then we're going to go back to the front end. Did I spell front end with a capital E? I did not. Front end, I think that technically says, but okay. Game state ID front end. That's it. We can get rid of most of this. We're going to need video, we're going to need font, which isn't actually there. Probably includes via globals, is it? It is. Ain't no options. Ain't no game. Ain't no files. Ain't no image. Do need some input. No audio. Okay. And then let's delete ending. And then duplicate game over. And ending. Ending. Close those. Ending, ending, ending. Lost. There we go. Ending. Ending. You won. It is literally, it's just going to say you won, which is so horribly anticlimactic. But I just don't have time to put a proper ending in. Oh, yeah, I just don't know what else I can do. You won! Exclamation mark. 3, 4, 6. So that's 7 characters, which is 112. Now, where does that? That's still going to be aligned to 4, isn't it? Because it's the characters are 16 pixels. So 320 minus 1, 2 is 208. 208 divided by 2 is 104. Yeah, of course it's a multiple of 4. Authors. I feel like I may have had music for the ending though. Did I? Am I misremembering that? It's the wrong place. Where's music? Yeah, got that one. Do we ever use that track? Oh, we use it on the title screen. Okay. Wait a minute. Title screen. We don't use the title screen at the moment. What does the title screen even do? Loads of title image, plays a tune. Oh, yeah, this is where I was doing the... Oh, God, this is ages ago. I can see why I'm not using this anymore. So, yeah, that was a mad... I was testing doing FMV. Because that's one of the things that I loved from this sort of era of DOS shareware was the sort of potato quality videos that you used to get when they started doing CD-ROM games. But yes, no, that is definitely a thing for later. I don't have time to do FMVs for a jam game. That was a silly idea. Okay, fine, ignoring that. We are still using that particular mod file on the front end. So it would sound a bit weird if we played it here and then you press space, because then it'll stop and start again. Do I have any alternatives? Do we use that one? We do not. It's 93k, so I should really be using it if I've got it. Milky Tracker. Right, you won't see this, but you will hear it. How many tracks is that? 12, and it's quite busy, but we're only showing the words U1 on the screen, so it's probably fine. How loud is this? Get on a bit. That's quite a happy, upbeat one. Yeah, we'll go with that. That'll do. That'll do. So, that means I need to be playing that at this point. Can I remember how to play a tune? No. Then you will tell me. Oh, audio music play. That's nice and simple. To do anything else with it? Nope, I don't even need to release it at the end, do I? Because it'll tidy up. Okay, so on start. OBXM. Oh, actually, I've got a. That's another track I was going to use. I guess that would be the Game Over. Let me see what that sounds like. That is quite fun. In a you let a robot cat blow up the world sort of way. Yeah, that's good. Alright. I guess we are going to have music in the Game Over screen as well. Game Over. Dunk. Where's music? Sinister.xm. Hang on a minute. Oh, it is poppy.xm. Alright, fine. So we're using that one. What about title? I don't think we're using that one because it's massive. It's listed there. Oh, that's where we're playing credits mod. It's actually when you go into the credits screen. I thought we were playing that on the menu. Oh, now I don't know which one I want to play. Remind me what credits mod sounds like, Milky Tracker. Takes a while, doesn't it? Sorry, we're using both. I have stopped caring. Okay. Well, I suppose. Oh no, hang on. I need to actually plug those states in. Yeah. Static. Ending state. Ending state. Static. Game over state. State. You wanna include what? Hello. Well, of course they be included. They didn't exist. Game over.h. This keyboard. .h. There we go. And then they need to line up with, where are they? Ending, then game over, the last ones. Ending. again. Over. All right then. These numbers have long since ceased being relevant. Okay, so I need to test both of those things. Compile. Dope. Oh, because I'm not including them in the compile. Silly me, they're new files. They need to be added to the build script. Here, I would suggest. Dunk, dunk. Try that again. Easiest to test. Can I continue? I think that's going to be... Oh no, it is in the last level. Alright, so I can just win. That'll take me to the score screen, which is slightly broken because of the cheat, but that's fine. And then from there, I believe we go to win state. Or do we go to front end? Cool. I mean, we've gone to the right state, but that font hasn't rendered properly now, has it? Any key to go to the front end? Okay, that way. So apart from the rendering, that worked. You know, apart from nothing on the screen being readable, it worked fine. Right, so what did I do there? Do we not use that function, and is it broken? We don't use that function. I bet it's broken. Perhaps we will have it rendered transparent after all. In which case we'll need to fix the other one as well. Let's try that again. Oh, it's reset because I've finished the game, so it's reset back to level 1, which it probably shouldn't do, to be fair. Okay, I guess I can test game over now, which requires me to sit here and get shot a lot. There's one life gone. And there's 2. At least it says game over now. What a sad song. Okay, that worked. Right, so I'm going to cheat then and pretend that I am on the last level. And then run that again, and then continue, and then win. Okay. Should probably be a nicer colour than dull grey. But I think if I'm going to do that, I will make those screens look nicer. Very much as a if I have time type idea. Okay. It works, which is what matters. So Commit. End screens. Well, end screen states. Oh, also I should update. Not you. Or you, or you. But you. You're all done. Done. Now, there was a sort of bug there, wasn't there? Which is, if you finish the last level, well, it's not so much a bug as a question of, well, what would you expect it to do? Because if you finish the last level at the moment and then say continue game, it'll start you from the beginning. So I think it should probably just not say continue game. I think that would be the most correct solution to that problem. It does mean you'd have to play through, either way, you'd have to play through it again, because I don't have a level select. So I think, yeah, I think for now, I'm going to make it not show continue. So what causes continue to appear? I think it's just if the value that's saved is non-zero, but I'll check. And then, where is it? It's in it, I think. Could be wrong. It's in option enabled. That gets set somewhere. Here we go. Progress level is not equal to 0. So if score screen, which is responsible for rating the progress, something about progress, save progress after incrementing G levels. So what you should actually do is you should say if G level now equals K max levels, num levels, what did I call that? Globals. K map count, I was not going to guess that. Then in fact G level has become 0. So that means if I now build that again and then set my progress to be at the last level again, continue. Oh look, I won. Hooray for me. Should probably make sure those cheats aren't in the final game. Finish that. That'll take us to the... It won't take us to the windscreen because we're using the exact same condition to determine whether we show the windscreen or not. Cool. So can we then, because we're going to say set state at some point. There it is. Yeah. Oh. I mean, we could just say 0 or is not 0 because you couldn't get to the score state without finishing a level, which would make the level necessarily 1, except in this case. So if you're just playing the game, carry on. Otherwise, go to the ending. That makes a sort of sense. Build. Run. And boom. Score screen. Skip. Windscreen. Okay. Back to the menu. It says continue game. Why does it say continue game? What have you put in that file? You've not written a 0 in it. Oh, I know why. Well, I know why. I think. Back to the code. Always back to the code. Right. I think it's because when we call save progress, which I can't actually remember what file that's in. Is it in globals? It is in globals. Yoink. Yeah, we only write it if progress level if we've got beyond what we'd already said. So, not anymore, we don't. False or ors, whichever you'd prefer. If false or that thing user. Aye. Globals H, globals H, globals H. Where have I put it? There it is. Save progress. Force. No, wait, I'm only calling it in one place. Okay, this is a bit too grisly, so I am going to say reset progress instead. We'll have a completely separate function, even though we're still only calling it in the one place. It will upset me less to do it this way around. Reset progress. None of that. You can go back there. What are we writing? Yes. Well, actually, we're taking G levels. Okay. Well, I think we're going to reset them both, whether it saves or not, which I will probably regret later. Okay. Score screen. Levels plus if G level equals map count, then in fact reset progress. Otherwise, save progress. Now, how will that affect? This is still a 0, isn't it? It's not 0, which it won't be if we reset. Or it will be 0 if we reset, so we'll go to ending. Okay. That'll probably work. Run. Oh, I don't know what level I left it on. Good. Win. Score screen. Skip. I did win, yes. Back to the front end, no continue. Lovely. Alright. That is all good. Get off. I made it so that you can't quit out of that intro. Right. So that's all fine. Need to check that in. Fixed. I'll continue after winning game. Just thinking. Yeah, game over doesn't show you a score screen, so it's not going to break that way. It's not going to erase all your progress on game over, which would be a bit mean. I mean, not unheard of course, but a bit more mean than I'm going for with this. Okay, we can get rid of all of this. So otherwise we've just got the dialogue. Oh, actually I've got to update those. Those are quite dull, but I do need to do them. I haven't written a readme at all, actually. Should probably have vague instructions in it in case anybody chooses to look at it. Yeah, I think I might just leave it there then, and then go and get lunch, and then do the cutscenes later. Seems as good a place to stop as any. All right then. Well, yeah. In case you didn't hear me muttering to myself, then I'm going to leave it there. Thank you very much for watching me mutter to myself while swearing at a compiler. And well, I'll be back on. I won't be back on probably today, but I will be on tomorrow night playing Descent at 6 p.m. And yeah, I will perhaps see you then. Otherwise, I'll see you another time. Thank you very much. See you later.